What's going on, Jam Fam? Welcome back to the gaming station. Today, we're going to be continuing the meta series by looking at Brawl Ball. Like I said in the last video, I only want to do one mode at a time to try to keep the videos a little bit shorter, so we're only doing Brawl Ball today. Also, I'm not going to explain how I'm doing this in case you're new. You can go back and watch the gem grab video. I start that video by talking about how I'm picking my brawlers for my list. So, because we're trying to go at a little quicker pace, we're going to jump right into the honorable mentions for this list. Now, the first one I want to go over is Byron. Now, right now, Byron has the #1 win rate in Brawl Ball at 66.9%. But, as I said in the gem grab video, his use rates are a little too low because he's a new, more rare brawler, so he just doesn't make the list for this. But also, like I said, his win rates are very high, so between gem grab and Brawl Ball, you could definitely push him while he's strong like this. I would expect a nerf to be coming for him pretty soon, so try to get him pushed before that happens. The next brawler I want to go over is Colt. Now, right now, Colt has the #1 pick rate in Brawl Ball at 8.3%. That's an absurdly high number. That's 3% over the next most used brawler, which is B at 5.8%. But Colt has a terrible win rate at 48.2%, which doesn't even break the top 15. Now, I'm by no means saying that Colt is a bad brawler right now. In fact, pros would say he's one of the top brawlers in the meta. I think this more relies on Colt being a higher skill brawler and people hearing that he's really good and playing him, but they're not necessarily skilled enough to actually play him and win consistently, so they're going to pick up a super high skill brawler, lose with him, and then tank his win rates. So if you're a really good Colt, you can definitely play him in Brawl Ball. There's no reason not to. I'm just mentioning from the way that I do my list, he didn't make it. Alright, moving on from Colt, the next brawler I want to talk about is Poco.
Like, whatever.
So when I did this list, I did the top 15 brawlers for win rates and pick rates. Normally I like to do 10, but I had to do 15 this time. I only got 4 brawlers in the top 15 of each list, and the very next brawler that would have made it was Poco. Now, Poco has the 13th highest win rate. However, he's 17th in pick rates, and I didn't want to extend the list down to 17, even though he would have been the very next brawler to make it. I don't know, it's a weird way to justify it, but I feel like the list got too long and it got too convoluted at that point. And another reason is there's only one tank in my top 4, so that's another reason I didn't want to put Poco in, because he really only does great when he's with tanks. But, like I said, I just wanted to mention him because he would have been the #5 brawler, but I'm just sticking to a top 4 for this list. Okay, so the first brawler on my actual meta list is going to be Rico.
Let's go.
So right now, Rico has a 58.6% win rate, which is good for 14th in the mode, and he has the 5th highest pick rate at 4.8%. So I think Rico's win percentage is really related to the maps that are out right now. Maps like Playbox, Penalty Kick, and Barrel Vault are really good maps for Rico, and he can just shred depending on where he is on the map. If you have one of these maps up and you want to play Rico and you want to push him a little bit, I highly recommend doing that. So, just like the gem grab video, Sandy's actually going to follow up Rico. So, right now, Sandy has the 9th highest win rate at 60.2% and the 14th highest use rate at 2.4%. This is actually really weird for me because while Sandy's decent in Brawl Ball, I wouldn't say he should have like a 60% win rate. I really have a hard time explaining why this is like this. He does have a fast movement speed, and he does do area control, and he does do piercing damage, so when people clump up near the goal, he can benefit from that a lot. But I wouldn't say he really benefits from the maps that are out right now, and I also wouldn't say that his super is like 100% necessary for Brawl Ball. Yes, it's very good for area denial, and you know, if you're running healing winds, it did just get a buff, but other than that, I wouldn't say it's like killer. As always, if you disagree with any of this, let me know down in the comments, because, you know, this one I can't wrap my head around. Alright, moving on. So, the next 2 brawlers actually are tied in win rate at 60.7%. The first one is Jacky. Her pick rate is at 3.47%. which is good for 11th in the mode. So just like Rico, she benefits from maps that have a lot of walls because she can attack through walls and she needs them to help move up the map without taking a lot of damage. And she did just get an attack damage buff, so I guess that helps her a little bit. So if you want to push Jacky, wait for one of these super wall heavy maps and then give her a try. And then the brawler that tied with Jacky in win rate at 60.7%, but beat her in use rate at 4%, is Neeta. So I'm not surprised that Neeta's on this list. She did just get a couple of buffs, and Brawl Ball's always been one of her best modes. And like I said in the last video, her new gadget paired with the star power buff really helps her a lot. And I would argue it's the better setup for Brawl Ball over the stun and hyper bear. Having the ability to heal your bear and reduce the damage that it takes and keeping it on the field for as long as possible is a huge benefit, and it forces enemies back, and if you can spawn trap them, it makes it so much easier to score a goal. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm only doing 4 brawlers for this list, and the 4 brawlers are, again, Rico, Sandy, Jacky, and Neeta. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not super happy with this list. I think there's brawlers that are clearly missing, like Edgar, Byron, Colt, just to name a few. And another reason why I'm not happy with this list is that Jacky and Neeta, the top 2 brawlers that are tied on this list, are only 7th in terms of win rate. So none of the brawlers on my list are top 5 in terms of win rate. The top 5 brawlers are Byron, Barley, Pam, Lou, and Mr. P, but they're just not being used in the mode, so I don't know if it's just too small of a sample size and that's why their win rates are inflated, or if they're really that good and nobody's just playing them. However, all of the brawlers on this list did just get buffed in the last round of balance changes, and like I said, with Rico and Jacky specifically, they benefit from these maps quite a bit, so I'm not surprised that they're on this list. It's just that none of the top 5 brawlers actually made it, which is kind of concerning to me. Anyway, if you guys don't agree with the list, comment it down below. Let me know what you think are the top 5 brawlers in Brawl Ball right now. Also, stay tuned for the next video. I think I'm either going to do Heist or Solo Showdown. I did have a request for Solo Showdown, so I'll definitely get to one of those modes next. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.